Hello everybody, here a new video from Renee from Spain, and in this video I just want to show some CDs I've been playing, most of it home and also in the car, and some movies I watched the last 2 weeks, like the last 2 weeks of September. Let's start with the debut full-length album by Halloween. It also comes with the EP and the extra track Judas. And of course, this is a masterpiece. I mean, I really love it. I also played it on tape. I thought in the shop I played it on tape, in home I played it on CD. And there's so many great songs on here. I mean, it's not one bad song. All the songs are great. Phantoms of Death. That's not a very well-known song, but a very good one. Of course, Victim of Fate is very famous. Starlight is great. Ride the Sky is famous. Guardians, Metal Invaders, Heavy Metal is the Lore, or How Many Tears. Some of these songs nowadays with Kai Hansen back in Halloween, he plays a medley with a few of the songs, from the early days of Halloween when he was the vocalist. And also during the Gamma Ray era, he also played Ride the Sky a lot, most of the times. Even Future World he played. Of course, he was not a singer on Future World. I mean, on that song. I played because soon a new album is coming out. Finally, because I really liked Psycho Psycho when it came out. It was like kind of a comeback album. I'm talking about Nasty Savage. And this is their demo with a few newer recordings. It was a great kind of EP. It came out around the same time as Psycho Psycho. 2004, Psycho Psycho came out. And this one, I think it came out a little bit earlier, 2002, I think it was. Of course, Witch's Sabbath sounds very much like Merciful Fate, really, in my opinion. Savage Desire is great. Unchained Angel. I mean, just a great demo. This is kind of EP nowadays because it has some other tracks on it. Then I played also this Creator. I made a little note here, but it's Creator, Out of the Dark, Into the Light. And this is a reissue from 1992. That's why it has a couple of other songs on it. Beside the EP, it has some live tracks taken from the Live in East Berlin VHS. I also have, of course, the VHS. And yeah, this nice 92 release. It's quite cool because it has these extra tracks. Then I played this live album with the Ripper Owens days. And they got so many songs. This was recorded live at the Jukulator tour that took them through all Europe. And they recorded a lot of shows, and then later they chose the best recordings. And this is just great because there's a lot of songs from Jugulator. Jugulator is an album I didn't like when it was released. Nowadays, it grew on me, so I like it a lot more than when it came out. But also, there's a lot of the classics are on here. And yeah, there's not much to say about this. I mean, Ripper Owens really sounded good. He was better not to see him, because live, I saw him live around the same era, and he was like boxing all the time, and he was behaving not like a metalhead, on stage. I don't know how to explain it, but he was not the traditional metalhead, the way he was like moving, walking, the way he looked. But if you listen to it, it's really good. One of my favorite AC/DC albums from the 80s. Flick of the Switch, of course, you can't go wrong with this. I mean, yeah, a lot of people still maybe don't like it so much. I think it's a really good album. A lot of great songs on here. Yeah, again, I don't really have to say much. Just check out the video clip for Nervous Shakedown. Some UDO. This is again a great live album. I played quite a few live albums. And this one is from 2001. I think it was done on the Holy Tour. if I'm not mistaken, it was the Holy Tour. And a lot of, they started with Holy and Riders of Beyond, great song. They played quite a few 90s songs like Independence Day, The Protectors of Terror for the Accept song. Heaven is Hell, it's a great Accept song. Monster Man is another great song from the Russian Roulette. And Heaven is Hell too, also from the Russian Roulette. And then a lot of songs from the 80s UDO, like They Want War, Animal House, Break the Rules. Yeah, just a great live album done in Russia, live from Russia. Great one, great one. It's a double, a lot of nice, beautiful photos too. Yeah, once I should make a video showing a lot of live albums, you know, that came out in the 90s and 2000s. Always people talk about the 80s live albums, but the 90s had a lot of great live albums. This was a great live album. I mean, this is the VHS of the concert, but this also came out on CD back in 1993. And here we have 2 extra tracks that you cannot find on the vinyl, on the CD. Plus, there were 2 songs that you could find on the CD, but they were especially written for this live recording. And those songs were Let's Rock Forever, Wherever I Think of You, and Children of the Night. 3 songs. And here we have 2 songs, and they're not on the CD. The Fortune Teller and East Meets West. They were not on the CD, but you can find them on this VHS. And this is just a great VHS, a great live recording. Yes, she had a great band. You know, already the drummer of Britney Fox was already in the band back then. Plus Douglas. You know, Douglas I think was, the bass player, also an American, tall guy. He was in the band till the COVID. And, the drummer of Britney Fox, he's still in the band nowadays. But it was a great lineup, this. This was for the Angel Never Die tour. It's probably my favorite album by Doro. I made the Doro ranking video, in the past. I think that was my favorite album, like I love that album so much. And there's quite a few songs of that album on here too, like Bad Blood, Eye on You. Great VHS. Also, I had to listen to this one because this came out. Dr. Feelgood just came out remastered version, a special edition, but this is just the original one from 1989. Not much I have to say about this, just a great album. I also listened to quite a lot of Hellstar lately. I listened to Nosferatu, A Distant Thunder, and I also listened to the second album by Hellstar. Yeah, US Power Metal, James Rivera on vocals, and this came out on Central Media. This copy, I think it originally came out on Metal Blade, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Remains of War. I like the debut album a little more than this one, but still it's a good album. Another album from '94 is this one by Skylark, Italian power symphonic metal, more power than symphonic, but also there's some symphonic and female vocals a little bit in it. I liked it more when it was released, but still it's not bad. Mike Anthony, I think he was the keyboard player, if I'm not mistaken, his name. But he was really a good keyboard player. I also saw this band live some years earlier. Skylark did quite well in Europe, also in Spain. They made quite a few cool albums. And this is the last album I ever bought by them, 2004. Motorhead from 1995. this is a great album. I mean, I love Motorhead from the 90s, like 1916, March or Die, that a lot of people don't really like. I really like that album. Bastards, and later Sacrifice. You know, it's like all great albums, you know, released one after another. And here they had 4 band members. Virgil was still in the band here. And it's just great release. I mean, I'm really heavy, eh? It's like Bastards. And this one even heavier than Bastards. Really cool album. And then we have this album from 2009, I think it is. I saw the tour in Madrid. Sonic Boom. Check out the song All for the Glory. I mean, I really love the song All for the Glory on here. Eric Singer sings that song. And this is, of course, I think everybody has this edition. It came with some extra stuff, like a DVD and an extra CD. This album is really good. I mean, maybe a lot of people don't remember this album. Check it out, Sonic Boom. Some movies I rewatched, because this one is one from the early 2000s. With Femke Janssen, Dutch girl, Femke Janssen. She was also in the X-Men movies. And of course she was a James Bond girl, Femke Janssen. Very good, very pretty, you know, like actress from the Netherlands. And this is quite a nice story. You can see it's from the from the early 2000s. You know, you can really takes you back to the early 2000s. You know, some people, you know, they're invited to a kind of a party, and then finally, you know, they're stuck in a kind of like a building, like a house, and then they cannot get out of there. You know, they cannot escape that house because the house, you know, keeps them in there. And it's the house on Haunted Hill. Are you dying to be rich? Because in the beginning they think they will get $1 million if they survive a whole night in that house. But finally the house is haunted. Yeah, nice. I like this movie. Another rewatch, and here we have, of course, Iron Maiden has a song in here. Also Motorhead has a song in here. And this is a movie from 1985, Italian movie. Phenomena. Very strange movie, like dark, gothic, you know, it's like, but it's, yeah, I like it. I like it sometimes to rewatch it. And we have here, Donald Pleasence is here, the guy that went after Mike Myers in the movies, in some of the movies, the first 5, I think it was, of Halloween, you know, he is in here. Another rewatch is part 5, A New Beginning of Friday the 13th. I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. You know, quite a good score. Yeah, it's one of the better ones. Okay, couple more things. This is one I rediscovered, this album. You know, because I never really liked it totally, but I put it on a pen drive. And when we were traveling, you know, on our holidays through Germany, Hungary, Slovenia, Italy, we play this quite a lot, you know, in the car. And now I really love this album, really. It's from 93, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just a great album now. I really think it's a great album. You should all check The Missing Link by Rage. Some thrash metal by Hobbs Angel of Death. Full-length album. Australian Slayer, they call them. Yes, very cool. The Red comeback album from 2010. Cavazo, you know, Carlos Cavazo from Quiet Riot fame. He was playing on here. And this is, yeah, I like this album a lot. A lot of great and strong songs on here. Really a strong comeback album. Another comeback album, there are a lot of comeback albums I'm showing here. The Van Halen comeback album with David Lee Roth. A different kind of truth. Yeah, it's just heavy rock, I would call this. Some nice guitar solos. I also listened to Sacriversum, the early days of Sacriversum, the shadow of the golden fire, the early days. And here we have a demo. I think 2 demos are actually on here. They're from the early 90s. Yeah, it's full length. They released the first album on a full length tape. I think it only came out on tape in 94. And they released also a demo in 93 called Dreams of Destiny. And here we have quite a few keyboards, but it creates a dark atmosphere. It's kind of a black heavy metal, I would call it, like some thrash metal influences too, not too heavy. It's a little bit like Samael, you know, like Samael also had a little bit that dark, sinister keyboards. You know, even Rotting Christ. I mean, that type. Sacriversum. I always forget the name of the band. Sacriversum. Other demos is the Atomic Aggressor demos. And here we have, I think, the 1990 demo and the 1991 demo. There's 2 demos on here. Resurrection, A Bloody Ceremony. This is a bootleg CD actually. I didn't know it when I bought it, but I checked it. And yes, it doesn't look like a bootleg at all. It looks quite nice with the artwork, etc. We have here the 2 demos plus some rehearsals. But the best thing on here is the first demo. That was the best thing. Check out songs like Beyond Reality or Bleed in the Altar. You know, from the Bloody Ceremonial demo by Atomic Aggression. And they were from Chile. It's death metal. Yeah, it's obscure, very dark, primitive death metal, you know. It's good stuff, really good stuff. This is also good stuff. This is war metal. It's like a mix between black and death with a lot of chaos, but not bad at all, these recordings. It has a live recording from 1991 plus a rehearsal from 91. The rehearsal sounds better than the live album. And this came out after the first release after the band came back. It's a Canadian band. They were formed like before, but they changed the name to Blasphemy in 88. And they were active till 92, 93, releasing 2 albums. And then they came back in 99. And then they released this in 2001 or 2002. I think the CD was 2002. And this is very, very violent stuff, of course. But of course, if you put it in the car and you play it loud, you can hear all the instruments, you know. Blasphemy from Canada. Niflheim, the debut album by Niflheim. Nowadays, one of the band members has a different band. I saw Helheim, I think his name is, of the band. This is Niflheim's first album from the mid-90s. Violent stuff. Black thrash metal, I would call it. Some speed metal too. Niflheim did some very good albums. Late 90s, early 2000s. You know, they were a big band in the underground. They were in all the fanzines back then. Niflheim from Sweden. I also listened to the debut album by Accept that I really, really enjoy. This album is a lot better than some of the later albums that came out many years later. This is really, really a good album. UDO doesn't sing all the songs, but the other singer is also very good. And they got so many good songs here. I really like the song, I like them all. I like Sea Winds. Check out Sea Winds. It's a beautiful kind of power ballad, but really cool. A lot of great guitar solos. This came out in the late 70s. That's why you can hear quite a lot of Scorpions too in here. You know, from the 70s. Very, very, very good album. I also listened to some Chaos UK. Some punk stuff. But you really have to be in the mood. Or I at least have to be really in the mood to be able to enjoy this really. But check out Hate or Police Protection, those two songs. But when I listened to it last time, I was not so much in the mood playing this. That's why I didn't really enjoy it very much. But sometimes in the past, I did enjoy this CD. No, it's not bad, of course, but I have to be in the mood for it. And then the last, I already made kind of a video with this. Okay, there's nothing more I want to show. I've been listening to the latest Striper album. I don't know where. Let's hear. The latest Striper album, you know, that I really, really enjoy. When We Were Kings. Check out the song When We Were Kings. But there's so many great songs here. I loved Imperfect World too. That's the last song of the album. End of Days is really good. The only thing I don't really care so much about is Unforgivable. It's the only song that's not bad, but the rest of the songs are all very, very good. Check out the song, like I said, the title song, When We Were Kings, and watch the video clip where you see, you know, the old days of Striper and Rock's Regime, you know, when they were called differently, and Metallica were opening for them, and they were big on the Sunset Strip, you know. Check it out, the video clip. For the song When We Were Kings. Okay, stay metal, everybody.